So today we're going to be taking a look at the FIFINE Tank2 microphone, and we're going to be comparing it to a few popular microphones in that category. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Beatwalker and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to look at the FIFINE Tank2 XLR and USB microphone. It is your handheld version of their microphone. So if you're looking at the Shure SM58 or the XM8500 from Behringer, these are just some of the similar type microphone handhelds that you can find. Now, the thing that I noticed off the bat with this is it does have XLR and USB, and you can run both at the same time, which is great, and that's how I'm recording it now. I'm running this directly into OBS with the USB-C to USB-C, and then I'm running it through XLR through the Rodecaster with no additional processing at all. I may boost the volume levels. Just really quickly looking at the specs of the mic and everything else, and then I'll unbox it here shortly so you can see that. So this is a dynamic microphone with the cardioid puller pattern, so that is going to be just the front area where you are speaking into, which is typical with a lot of dynamic microphones these days. So, and it does have a USB-C input, XLR input, and then a volume control. It does control output to the microphone, so if you want to use headphones to listen to sound, it acts like an audio interface as well. So it's really like an all-in-one. Take it with you, use it for everything you would need to, and it works perfectly. And now the mic monitoring itself doesn't have a volume level, but the mic monitoring is just, I'd say, at the right volume where you wouldn't need to adjust much. Personally, I don't like to monitor my voice that much, so I'd rather just do without it. Just know that the mic monitoring is going to be there and you pretty much can't switch it off. All right, so the frequency response is going to be more geared towards your higher vocal range for outputs on a microphone like this, because it is a handheld. It's designed for that stage, stage performances and stuff like that. But a lot of people do use these for podcasts and stuff like that as well, because it picks up your voice really clearly. It's not going to provide a whole lot of bass. There are other microphones like that, SM7B, stuff like that. So this is not one of those, but it does provide some really great vocal clarity. It's an option that a lot of people use because of that. All right, so one thing I do want to take a look at is the USB-C output in terms of quality that you can get. So you can get up to 24-bit 192 hertz, which is more than enough, pretty much more than you need. Me personally, I'm staying at 16-bit 48 hertz. If they had 32, it'd be great, because a lot of new devices do have that 32-bit, but 16-bit is perfect. All right, so now let's take a look at what's in the box. Okay, so in the box you have your instructions and user guide, which will give you all the information on the mic. And then you have your microphone, which is a metal microphone that comes with a pop filter or windscreen, which you can pull off there. And then just a metal grill on the top, which is very nice. And then you have your mute button and the mic holder with an adapter, which will fit all your standard adapters. And the mic at the bottom itself has the XLR input with a USB and 3.5 millimeter. Now this volume button, it's not a complete circle button. It just goes left and right, and that is for the gain from your computer that you can utilize as a listening audio device. And then of course you have your USB to USB-C and USB-A adapter there, which will fit most computers. And then you have your stand, which has an adapter to raise it up and down, which fits quite nicely on your desk, and it'll work pretty much for anybody just wanting to get started. So that's pretty much everything that comes in the box. Okay, so now I am handling this now, so we'll test some of the handling noise here and see, if it kind of, if you're moving it around, you're talking. So is that really noisy? I can't really tell. Yeah, it does feel good. The quality of it is, it's got a metal, it's pretty much metal all around, and Volume control is really nice, and then the mute button is pretty sturdy as well, so we'll just test that. And then back on one more time. And back on. So there may be a little bit of clicking there, but for the most part, you just probably want to leave that on and not mess with it too much. So the stand that's included is this. It's a standard microphone stand that can just sit on your desk. So that's what I've been using for the most part so far. And it does have this clip here where you just clip it on, right there, like that. So yeah, pretty standard. But it is nice that it comes with that. So you can have something to set it on your desk there. All right, so let's go around the microphone and just see what kind of pattern this is picking up here. All right, so now I'm in front of the mic and I'm just gonna turn it around here to the left. So I'm speaking right on the side of it, and then we'll go to the back, see if it's picking up anything from the back. Maybe, but not the greatest. And then we'll come back around, and this is back in front of it. And then now we are to the side again and back to the front. So typically you'd want to have a microphone like this if you're podcasting kind of to the side so you're not getting all those plosives in there. It does come with a pop filter, so let's pop that on. All right, so now this is with a pop filter, so we'll do some peas here. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled peppers. And then with it off, Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled peppers. So probably way better in terms of plosives with the windscreen on here. I think if you're having a performance or something like that, this is not something you want to have on because you want that clarity to come through, and you just have to have some good mic technique. So I'm gonna test some typing and kind of like hit the side of the bass to see what you can pick up. So a little bit of typing there. So yeah, I mean it will pick that up, so just keep that in mind. I would recommend if you have a boom arm, probably be the better thing, but if you don't, this works really well. Just got to be careful, you know, what you're doing and what you have on your desk and etc. and stuff like that. Just be mindful of that. Okay, so now we are going to compare it to two other microphones. I have the Behringer XM5800 first. So again, just a quick refresher, this is the FIFINE Tank2 microphone, and this is what that sounds like. All right, so now this is the XM5800. This is also a dynamic microphone that just has XLR. This runs somewhere around $30-ish, so this is a very budget-friendly microphone, and this is what that sounds like. All right, so back over to the FIFINE Tank2, and I did forget to mention this is around a $60 microphone. You could probably find it for cheaper at times, but still in the budget range, especially with both XLR and USB. So to have that combo at this price is really great. But again, back to the comparison. So I'm now going to compare it to the Shure SM58 and again, FIFINE Tank2. This is what this sounds like. And now I'm on the SM58, and this is probably one of the most popular microphones in this category or range of mics that are handheld. Again, this is just a XLR microphone, runs probably about $100-ish. I know they've boosted prices on these recently, so they're a little more than 100. So now you're starting to get into the higher range of price with these types of microphones. But again, this is what this sounds like, and back over to the FIFINE. So last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to compare the sound quality or maybe sound difference from XLR to USB. So I'll just go through those back and forth. So we're now on the XLR version. So this is what that sounds like. Again, the XLR is running through the Rodecaster with zero processing. I know typically I've heard that it does alter the sound a little bit, but not by much. So that's what this sounds like. And now I'm over on the USB version. So this is what that sounds like. This is running straight into OBS. No processing there as well. And I think I have it on 24-bit 48 hertz. All right, so I'm back on the XLR version. All right, so that pretty much concludes the review of this microphone. From what I've heard, just going back and forth to this microphone and the other two that I compared, one thing I will note is the handling noise is a little higher than you'd want it to be, so keep that in mind. Now, if you are using it as a handheld, it's not the worst, but it's also not the best, so you know, but that's what you get with some of these budget type microphones. But again, it does a really great job. The sound is awesome. It is a little higher on the frequency range, doesn't have a lot of bass compared to like the SM58. The SM58 has like a bolder sound to it. But it is priced a little higher. So what you could do on something like that is you could just boost some of the lows and add some EQ there. So that's what I would do typically if this was like a primary version of the microphone. But for the most part, it picks up your voice really clearly. Overall, I think this is a great entry microphone to anybody wanting to do podcasting, or if you want to pick up a few, maybe to do karaoke or something to take on the road with you. Another thing you can do is this connects right directly to iPhone. You can use it like as a recording device, you know, on the road. So there's a lot of functionality and a lot of qualities that this has, especially at that entry level. So I definitely recommend it for anybody just wanting to get right into it and have some versatile to use, you know, on the road and stuff like that. So it does get my recommendation. Appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you supporting the channel. If you like stuff like this and want to see other videos, want to see other comparisons, let me know in the comments. If you want to see some other podcasting type mics, Shure SM7B, stuff like that, I can do that. Again, wouldn't recommend it. The sound quality is going to be vastly different with a lot of those, but I can do it if you want. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.